Can you hear me now, everybody? I think now it should be fine. I think now you should be able to hear me. Uh, you hear me now? Fine. I think now you should be able. Yeah. No. Yeah. Now my sound is restored. That pisses me off. Yeah. No. I'm using this software called XSplit, and it has been working perfectly fine so far. And now there are two functions, which is my microphone input and my camera input. Normally, I used to use my microphone input, just connecting my microphone. And today suddenly it doesn't work, so I have to turn that off and set my microphone as my camera input as well. I don't know. I have no clue what these people are doing. Anyways, wow, wonderful, fantastic start. Great. Thank you so much, XSplit. XSplit, you fucking idiots. Thank you so much. Thank you for making such a great software and letting me pay for that. Anyways, hope everyone is having a great day. Hope everyone is having a better morning than this. Anyways, hope you had a great weekend. I certainly had a good weekend. No matter how good your weekend was, it cannot be as good as my weekend. I spent my entire weekend studying and studying and studying, just because I want to be more knowledgeable, and I want to be great, and I want to do things, whatever. But yeah, here I am. Hope you had a great weekend as well. I see that there is there are some problems with the camera. I hope that will be resolved soon as well. Anyways, so a new beginning to the end of Islam. That was the title. Sorry, I'm a little bit irritated because of the whole problematic beginning. I just hate that this happens whenever I'm trying to do something. Technology is awesome when it works, you know. So, a new beginning to the end of Islam. I don't know. If you have seen it, some of you might have seen it. Others might have not seen it yet. Some of you even asking about it without seeing it yet. But I have just created a Turkish YouTube channel. I've created that. About, I don't know, a month ago, posted a video about a month ago, and announced that I would from now on be making videos in Turkish. And over on the weekend, on Saturday, I finally published the first video in completely in Turkish, the first topical video, which made me very proud, which made me very proud, actually. And the topic was about who Allah is, and that the Islamic God, the Islamic Arabic God Allah, is basically a giant lie. And I presented the whole study that I have presented here on this channel as well. I made two videos about this topic. One of the videos was called "Do Muslims Worship the Same God That Christians and Jews Worship?" And someone said Allah failed to silence AP as usual. Anyways, and the other video was called "Allah Forgets His Name." Or Allah versus Yahweh. And in that video, I basically talked about how I talked about a very huge mistake in the theology, in the history, in the fundamentals of Islam. And I believe that this is a very crucial thing to point out, a very crucial argument to make, a very crucial research and study to offer. I really cannot stress enough how important this is, how big of an issue this is, and how this weakens the fundamentals of Islam. The topic is that Islam adopted this God called Allah and named him Allah, who is the one God, but they adopted him in a wrong way. You know, his name in Christianity and Judaism is Yahweh. That is God's name. It is That's his name. Some call it Jehovah, some call it Jehovah, some call it Yahweh, but that is basically his name. In Hebrew, it consists of 4 letters: Yod, Ha, Waw, and Ha, and YHWH, and Islam, when Islam adopted this God, this Abrahamic God that Christians and Jews believed in, he adopted him. Muslims or Muhammad adopted him in the wrong way. They adopted him with the wrong name. Of course, to Jews it is very obvious that God's name, that their God's name is Yahweh, and it is everywhere in their book, and they don't pronounce it because they have so much respect for that name. They consider it so sacred that they don't want to pronounce it. So they say Adonai instead, which means the Lord or my Lord, or they say Hashem instead, which means the name or the holy name. And Christians adopted the same God and knew him as Yahweh, but referred to him as God or as the Lord, and they continued the same tradition that Jews had. But it is very obvious to Christians if they open their book, the book. In English, for example, capitalizes Lord, and whenever it capitalizes Lord, it says. It stands for Yahweh, for God's unique name. That is the concept in Abrahamic religion, in Christian and Jewish religion. But if you come to Islam, Islam is suddenly completely ignorant, completely unaware of God's real name according to these religions, and just refers to him as Allah, when in fact Allah is merely merely the word that these Middle Eastern cultures used for a higher god, a creator god. And in Arabia, the Arabs used the word Allah to refer to their high god. They have a world of gods. They have Hubal and Alad and Manat and Uzza, and these are pagan gods. These are polytheistic gods, and above them, supposedly, according to the polytheist Arabs, is the big god, like the king of gods, which is Allah. But since Muhammad didn't understand where exactly this Allah comes from, and he also heard that the local Christians refer to God as Allah because Christians don't use God's name, they use God's title, which is God. And seemingly in Arabia or in Arabic, the word that people would use for a creator God would be Allah. And Muhammad heard that. Muhammad heard that all of them referred to this creator God as Allah. He thought, okay, that is my God, that is our God, that is the creator God. Allah is the one God. So he incorporated this God into he imported this God into the religion, made him the creator, made his name Allah, said that Allah is above everything, there is no God but Allah, that this is Allah's first name, and everyone has even carries names now that are Abdullah, and Abdullah literally means slave of Allah. So imagine Muhammad adopted a god with a wrong name, and all the people who walk around today who are called Abdullah, greetings to Abdullah Samir, by the way, walk around with their name attached to a wrong god. I mean, wrong God from our perspective, of course, because I'm an atheist and because I don't believe in Islam. But even a wrong God from their own perspective, from their supposedly Abrahamic perspective. So, anyways, I presented this huge argumentation, this huge research to the Turkish audience. That is basically the first video that I have published in Turkish, and I think this is so important in Turkish because Turks are not aware at all that other people in the world don't believe in Allah. Because as a Muslim, you learn that Christians believe in Allah and Jews believe in Allah and Muslims believe in Allah, but you don't ask yourself the question: if everyone believes in Allah, then why do we never in the world hear the name Allah from other people? Why do only Muslims mention it? Why is this only related to Islam, to Muslims? Why don't Christians and Jews refer to him as Allah if they all believe in Allah? And I basically presented this question to them, and I believe that this is a very important spot to start demolishing Islam again in a new country and in the world. I think I will also intensify my work around this whole issue, around this whole study, which what I basically just summarized, that Islam imported a wrong God, and that Muhammad stole the Abrahamic, the Jewish Christian God with a wrong name, because this is really something that Muslim apologists have no proper response to. They have no idea how to explain this, because it is a huge blunder. There is no proper apologetics that they can offer in response to this argument. So I will definitely work very, very much toward this topic in the future as well, just as I'm doing right now. I might I don't know. I would love to have that in written form as well. I don't think I would be able to create a book about this topic right now. I've stalled all my plans on writing books on Islam because I'm much more busy otherwise right now. I'm studying and all that stuff. But I would love to intensify my work around this as well. This and the scientific mistakes of the Quran. And one more issue that I have in mind, which I think defeats Islam, is how Islam gets the name of Mother Mary wrong and the Prophetess Mary wrong. So these are three issues: the scientific mistakes, Allah's name, the scientific mistakes, and the name of Mary, Mother Mary, and the Prophetess Mary. These are three issues where Islam is completely defenseless, and where when Muslim apologists try to defend Islam, they fail. You see them fail. You see that they don't respond. You see that they want to ignore this. That they want to that they don't want to argue with you, because they think we shouldn't argue about this topic. They are ignorant. But in fact, they don't want to argue about these topics. And when they argue, such as when a Muslim apologist who recently tried to have a debate with me, when they try to argue, then they brutally fail. So this is a new beginning to the end of Islam. I want to really focus on these topics. But aside from that, I will, of course, continue talking about Islam issues again. This week, I have something very nice in mind. I want to to present a list to you of all the time that Muhammad curses someone. And it will be very interesting. It's something funny. It's something that I actually came up with very spontaneously. I was looking at some hadith in which Muhammad curses people for doing specific things. He curses groups of people. He curses people who do this or who do that. And then I went into all the hadith and I started looking for each mention of the word cursed or curse. And I created a huge list of all the instances where Muhammad curses people. So I really want to just make a kind of a joke with you this week about that, which I believe will be very interesting to see, very funny. And I think it should definitely give Muslims who believe in Islam and who believe that their holy Prophet Muhammad was a very patient man, and that Islam is such a wonderful religion, such a spiritually cleansing religion. I think they really need to see this. I think it would really disrupt their belief in Islam and their perception of Muhammad as this holy, wonderful, amazing prophet. I mean, seriously, what do you think? A woman comes to the Prophet. A woman comes to Muhammad. She asks, "Hey, dear Prophet, my daughter's hair is falling out. She's ill. Can we use hair extensions?" And then Muhammad suddenly says, "Allah has cursed the one who does hair extensions and the one who gets it done." What? This is so ridiculous. This not only shows that you can get in Islam, you can get cursed for something so basic, for attaching artificial hair to your hair. That's what you get cursed for in Islam. It also shows that Muhammad had quite a weird temperament, not a very calm person at all. So, yeah, I will definitely present a list to that. I will publish a video about that this week. I will also publish another episode of The Apostates. This time, my guest is Zara Kay, who is an activist in the UK. And I'll come to Ataturk. I said that I would make a video about Ataturk and how the caliphate ended. I will do that because I believe that that's a very pleasant topic to talk about as well. Muslim Turks often don't think about the implications of what Ataturk, the creator of the Turkish Republic, did. He ended the caliphate, and by ending the caliphate, he destroyed Islam. So he's actually the first Turk around here who destroyed Islam. I just come after him if I may say that without being too arrogant about about the impact of what we are doing here. All that will come this week. I'm not a huge fanboy of Ataturk. I don't really. I think if you grew up in Turkey, if you grew up in Turkish culture, you grew up venerating Ataturk, who is the creator of the secular Turkish Republic. I don't really have the same thing. I could never really relate to that feeling of venerating him and of standing in silence for him and respecting him and saying his name all the time and considering him as the great teacher and the savior and whatever. I thought that was kind of a little bit weird. Might also be because I came from a family that wasn't very secular. My family is very religious, and they kind of rejected this whole deification of Ataturk as our savior, and also maybe because I was born in Germany, and in Germany we learn not to. In Germany, we learn not to idolize specific leaders, and of course, everyone knows why. No, it's certainly not because of that, but not just because of that. But yeah, that's in Germany. In the West, we just don't have this mindset that we turn one specific character, one specific leader into this huge hero, and everyone has to respect him. We just don't do that. All right. So much to the beginning, a new beginning to the end of Islam, and all the amazing plans that I have. The one thing is, since I'm now also wanting to speak to a Turkish audience, which has started really well, I really I'm going into a new arena where I have basically no support. They would always accuse me of being funded by this or being supported by these people or doing all of this for money and whatever. But I'm now going into the Turkish YouTube. I will not be able to earn any money. There will not be people who will be able to donate. I will be basically just on my own, trying to enlighten people, taking the little bit of time that I have left and dedicating it to that. I really wonder what they will say to that. They will probably make new conspiracy theories about how this is even more a sign that I'm being supported by a global Zionist Jewish agenda. I don't know. It sounds so amazing. I almost wish there was such an agenda going on. Slotty Bart first made a super chat and said, "Good luck with the Turkish channel, AP. We need more multilingual apostates for Urdu, Farsi, and Arabian speakers too." Thank you so much, Slotty Bart first. Thank you as always for your super chat, for your contribution. And thank you for your well wishes. I believe we have in Urdu we have Harris Sultan, who calls himself Pakistani Mulhid, which stands for Pakistani apostate, and he talks about Islam in Urdu. I believe that's what he has been doing over the last year. I don't know if there is anyone who is doing any of this stuff in Farsi, in Persian. I don't know of any voices at all. Armin Navabi is himself Persian, and he occasionally talks in Persian to people, but he doesn't really do it exclusively or actively. So But yeah, it would be interesting to see more people in the Persian arena to go out there and speak to people about Islam. And in Arabic, we have a lot of people who are coming out in Arabic, actually. In Arabic, we have Arabic speaking YouTubers, exclusively Arabic speaking YouTubers. And we have also some others who do it in English and in Arabic, or in German and in Arabic. We have, what's his name? Hamid Abdul Samad or something like that in German. He's also doing invaluable work. But yeah, we have more and more people coming out and doing these things. Islam is shaking right now. There are many people who are really going into this arena and who are enlightening people about how Islam is a bunch of nonsense. But yeah, thank you. Patrick Reed, thank you so much, Patrick Reed, for your super chat. Said, I would love to hear your take on Ataturk. I will probably publish it this week. I don't want to focus it entirely around on Ataturk's person and his achievements and who he was and what he did. I want to focus it more on something that is related to the channel's topic, which is Islam. So I would like to talk about the end of the caliphate and how Ataturk basically started the end of Islam by abolishing the global caliphate and leaving Muslims without leadership in the world. Yeah, that's what I want to do. But thank you, Patrick Reed. David Amos said in a regular chat, AP, when are you going live with David Wood again? I don't know. We just we have this thing with David. We are both not people who are great at planning and sticking to plans. We both suck terribly at that. So, but we always make this plan. We think we should go live every week from now on. Let's do this. Okay, from now on we will do this. Let's go live every Friday from now on. Then we go live. Next week we go live again, and then we go live again, and then suddenly no one contacts the other, and we are quiet again, and we don't go live for another month, and then we come together again, and we are like, oh, we should do this every week now. Let's do it every week from now on. 1 week on your channel, 1 week on my channel, and then we start again, and then we drop it again after 1 week, and it's just gone. So that's just something that we have going on with me and David Wood. But spontaneously we might just announce it and go live as always. And we're also planning something huge, actually, which will be which should be a debate between David Wood and me. So if you are interested in seeing an honest debate between two friends about a topic, a major worldview that they disagree about, I think I'm very excited about that. I'm planning on having a debate with David Wood about our beliefs. He really thought it would be amazing. I thought it would be fantastic. So we'll hopefully do that. All right. New members. Alfonso Lapulce just became a new member. Thank you so much, Alfonso. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the Prophet Club. You can, if you go down to the join button, you can now become a member of the channel. That is now something that actually is available. I cannot believe that YouTube actually did that. So you can now become a member of the channel, and you will be called a prophet. That's what you get. You will be called a prophet. You can join me as a prophet in the Prophet Club. Someone mentioned, Khalid H mentioned brother Rashid also has a channel in Arabic about Islam. Yes, he also does. Yep. Okay. Aditya Varma also just became a member of the channel. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Welcome to the club, Aditya Varma. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's say thanks to all the prophets. If you become Fred Sanford said, can I put prophet on my CV? Americans refer to that as a resume, which I find very painful to say. Yeah, if you become a member of the channel, if you become a prophet, then you can put prophet on your CV, definitely. Yeah. All right. There was some super chats that I missed in my fervent talking about all the wonderful plans that we have. Ayush Singh said, "Is Genghis Khan hated in Islam?" I think it depends very much on where you are. Ayush Singh made a super chat, said, "Is Genghis Khan hated in Islam?" Genghis Khan is hated among some cultures very much. in certain cultures in the Middle East, along, I don't know, Persia, Pakistan, other cultures, he's hated very much as an invader, as a very brutal conqueror who brutally massacred lots of people in the Islamic world. I mean, he almost destroyed Islam by his invasions into the Islamic world. And I don't want to praise him for that, because he was a huge evil. I mean, the Mongolian army went through the world basically massacring, burning down, raping civilizations until he died, and they had to go back and redo their plans, and eventually they fell into a Game of Thrones, or a Game of Hordes, whatever it's called, among steppe hordes. But yeah, Muslim cultures have quite conflicting views about Genghis Khan, and most of them hate him. Some of them certainly like him. Like among Turkic cultures, for some reason, there is often some sympathy going on for Genghis Khan and the legacy of the Mongolian armies, which really is messed up. Someone mentioned Gig TV. Elver Özmic said Gig TV is a Turkish guy. He tries to explain real Islam, but it's in Turkish. Yes, Gig TV, for all those for all the Turkish speakers, or for all those who are interested, Gig TV is a Turkish channel that is also talking about Islam exclusively in Turkish, and presenting a lot of information, a lot of criticism of Islam, with a very strong language sometimes. But yeah, that's also another channel that has been helping us defeat Islam on an intellectual level. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. All right, my info made a super chat and said, "I am a Christian and I love your vids. Love your vids. God bless you." Thank you so much, my info. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you are spending time here with a dirty person like me, who doesn't. Anyways, let's not get into it. Thank you so much for being here. Tip001 made a super chat, didn't attach a question to that, but I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much, Tip001. Mihail Azman said in a super chat, "Did you know about this comment which Aaron Ra posted under your debate with Nader on his channel? Nader emailed me after this asking, can you admit apostate prophet lost a debate?" Yes, I did actually see that. He told me the same thing. I had a conversation with Aaron Ra after our debate. For those who are not aware, for those who have missed it, I had a debate with Nader Ahmed on the scientific mistakes of the Quran. This debate was on Aaron Ra's channel, and it didn't go really well for Nader Ahmed, if I may say so. It didn't go really well for the Islamic position. It was quite a funny debate. Sadly, it wasn't really very respectfully done. He became very offensive and very insulting, and I kind of started responding to him, not even in kind. But after the debate was over, and after everyone was like, "This was terrible for you and for Islam, Nader," he apparently sent Aaron Ra an email and said, "Can you please publicly admit that Apostate Prophet lost the debate and I won?" Seriously, this is what Islam is doing to itself by its popular Muslim apologists around the world. If you missed that debate, please go and watch watch the debate between me and Nader Ahmed on the scientific mistakes, and please let me know who you think made more convincing points in that debate. By the way, if anyone wants to debate the scientific mistakes of the Quran with me, of course, someone who is known to be a Muslim apologist and who has who talks about these things, always let me know. I'm always ready to debate the scientific mistakes of the Quran. I'm completely confident in that. Of course, my one of my requirements is that the debate is supposed to go respectfully, respecting the etiquette of a debate, the ethics of a debate, and not be turned into a stupid childish fight with bad words and all that stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for that. Let's see further. Tanya van Kessel said, Nader Ahmed showed himself at chess playing pigeon. Exactly. That's how it went. Thank you for being here, by the way, Tanya, as always. All right. Karen Abram said, good morning, AP. Thank you so much, Karen. Good morning. Hitman said, make a video on Petra City. I watched a documentary about Petra supposedly being the actual Mecca. You know, that Mecca was actually Petra, but that Muslims kind of had problems in their Islamic history, and then they tried to turn everything around, and suddenly now we believe that Mecca is the center of Islam. But I watched it, and I think that it was well done. But I don't agree with it. You know, I don't agree that that Petra is the original Mecca. The overwhelming evidence just points against it. I would say if I view it from my perspective, I would think that some issues like some mosques pointing toward Petra are just a mere coincidence, and the coincidence merely results from the fact that mosques would point toward Jerusalem at the beginning, not toward Mecca. And if you point from Mecca toward Jerusalem, Petra is basically just close to that direction. So I don't really think that Mecca was originally Petra. I thought of making kind of an analysis of that whole claim. But then I always think, do I really want to do that? Because I would basically just be arguing with other people who are also critically analyzing Islam, and I think it would be, I don't know. I don't know if it's really worth going into that. I appreciate the whole studies that have been done around it. I might make my commentary here and there. I don't think I really want to spend time analyzing that professionally. But I appreciate the work that has been done. All right, Alexander Dahl made a super chat and said, can you also make permanent English subtitles on the screen in your Turkish videos? I love your videos and always look forward to see more. I would. I would love to do that. The thing is, when I published my video on Saturday, my thought was, okay, I could now sit down and create Turkish captions for this, and also make English subtitles for that afterward. But do I really want to condition myself to always make English subtitles on Turkish videos? Because if I really do that, I know how that will end. I know I will have delays. I know I will not be able to publish videos in time. My other stuff will suffer. So I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I might do that sometime, occasionally. I don't think I will be able to always do that in every video. But I'll do my best. Maybe some people can help me in creating Turkish captions and making English subtitles too. Maybe then this could work more efficiently, more productively. I don't trust myself in that, to be honest, to be very honest. I'm not a great planner. I'm not the best of planners, unlike Allah. So I don't really trust myself in that very much, to be very, very frank. All right. The God Delusion said, even the apostate prophet wants to stay away from religion. Of course, I'm an atheist. New Life said, stay close to AP, stay away from Islam. Thank you so much. Stay away from Islam, everybody. Stay away from Islam, everybody. Stay away from Islam. SHSL Potato said, severek izliyorum in Turkish. I'm lovingly watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's great to see more Turkish people here too. Actually, I appreciate that very much. That is a good sign and a good indication that things are working well. Alrighty. Aritra Chatterjee. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm very sorry. I'm just a dumb Western person. of Turkish origin, so I don't know how to pronounce that. But Aritra just became a channel, but just became a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Aritra. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the Prophet Club. Welcome to joining us as prophets. I appreciate that. Thank you. Someone with a Korean username that I can not even read made a super chat. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And there was one more thing that I missed here. Stefan Miljevic made a super chat and said, "Greetings, AP. Difference between Kharaj and jizya. Kharaj is basically like protection money. I don't think it is a fundamental part of Islam. It is a historical part of Islam. It is something that is taken from non-Muslims in return for their ability to own land or to own means of production within Muslim realms. While jizya is an Islamically ordered protection money. Also for that is explicitly mentioned in the Quran and also in the Hadith, that Muslims have to take from non-Muslims once they conquer those non-Muslims, and once those non-Muslims agree that they will become subjects without converting to Islam. So I think one is a fundamentally Islamic concept while the other is not. I'm not entirely a master of how Kharaj works and how it is manifest in Islamic history. So I wouldn't necessarily want to act like a genius on a topic that I don't necessarily that I'm not very, very knowledgeable about. But that I think would be the difference. One is fundamentally Islamic, the other is just something that was established in Islam as in Islamic history. Both of them serve basically as protection money for the poor non-Muslims who have to be the servants and the subjects of the glorious big Muslim supremacy. Okay. My 2 cents is made a super chat just now and said, "Thank you for all your hard work educating on the dangers of Islam in Western societies. I appreciate you." Thank you so much. My 2 cents is. I appreciate that so much. Thank you very much. Tip001 made a super chat and said, "My question earlier was about being more philosophical regarding the reason for being religious nowadays. Can you spend some time about that? Also said you look healthy and was happy about that." Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. In your earlier super chat, there was actually no, what am I spitting? In your earlier super chat, there was no question attached. I don't see the question. I don't see any comments here, but thank you so much. First off, for your words. Secondly, being philosophical regarding the reasons for being religious. I don't know if you mean whether I should talk about philosophy behind religion, whether I should talk about the philosophy of Islam or philosophy of religion in general. It is very complex. To be honest, I don't think that Islam has any deep philosophical aspects that you could actually go into and scrutinize and talk about. I think Islam is a philosophically very weak, a very shallow religion compared to other worldviews and other religions and mythologies. It reminds me of old primitive mythologies, to be very honest. But I like to often talk about the reasons why people are religious and why people follow certain religions, certain religious practices. I would maybe like to talk about these issues on this channel sometime, maybe sometime in the future on a secondary channel. Could always work, but if I ever think that I could put more thought into the philosophy and the sophisticated aspects of Islam, I would gladly love doing that. But yeah, thank you so much. Interesting perspective. I'm also planning on talking about religion and religious philosophy and the philosophy of religion more broadly. I don't know if I ever want to make that part of this channel and this whole work, however, because I think what I did here as a positive prophet with this channel is I created something that focuses solely on analyzing and criticizing Islam and showing why Islam is wrong, why Islam is harmful, why Islam is bad, why Western people of all should not convert to Islam, and then why the rest of the world should not convert to Islam, and then why Muslims should leave Islam. So it is entirely focused on Islam, and people of all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of beliefs and philosophies come here to join and to talk about Islam with me and to listen to all the topics that we talk about here. I wouldn't want to go very much into other topics and distract from the topic at hand. And yeah, I appreciate that we have something here to focus on, which is Islam. And I know that many other channels, many other people in the world don't focus on one certain thing and start to include their own views and their own beliefs. And I don't really want to do that. I don't really think I should steer the whole direction of the conversation by my own beliefs and ideas. Anyways. Thank you so much. My throat is completely messed up again. Good said, I am a prophet of God. Okay. Good. Goran Svaraka said, do you think we will ever get over religion as a species? As much as religious people don't want to believe that that we will, I believe that we are already getting over it very quickly. I believe we will. Don't be offended about that, dear religious people. You also think bad stuff about me, theoretically speaking. Otherwise, we all just love each other, and that's how it should be, right? Someone with an Indian username, with a Hindi username, with a Sanskrit username, said, "Let's create a new religion with our own god called AP." Maybe we should. Maybe we should. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I'm not saying this because I'm not arrogant. That's completely aside. I don't want to be a god. I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to deal with people's personal problems and all that and everything that comes with being a god. And seriously, who would want to deal with that? Ari Wasserman said, fellow prophet, made a super chat. Thank you so much, Ari Wasserman. And said, fellow prophet, peace be upon us. Ari Wasserman is saying that because Ari Wasserman is also a member of this channel and also a prophet. Fellow prophet, peace be upon us. I surprisingly mean this to be a serious question, but will you do a video about how Islamic misogyny accidentally created Islam's titanic homosexuality problem? Interesting perspective. I believe, I don't know. It's a very sensitive thing to talk about. It is a very sensitive thing to talk about because where should I begin? It is sensitive because it would be offensive to other people who happen to be homosexuals because the implications of the topic are quite sensitive. I don't find any other word for that. I don't know. There is some really weird stuff going on in the Muslim world, and I often don't want to talk about it. I often don't want to talk about all the stuff that is going on with animals, and stuff that is going on between men who are completely straight men, or who claim that they are straight men. It is a whole sensitive topic, Ari. Why did you do this? What did you do to this whole conversation? Thank you so much for the super chat, but I think we should stop it right now. No, Nitin Sony, do not make a vote for that video. Please don't. All right. Liar I said, AP, would you please start having lectures in public, not debates? I would like to do that. I would like to go into public and speak in public. I just don't know where to start. I don't know. No one has so far offered me a stage and said, hey, here, here make a speech. I know many people organize things like that themselves. They organize it with managers and all that stuff. But I don't really know where to start. I don't really know how to get into that. I also never thought I would actually go out and lecture people. But I would be willing to do so. I would be happy to do so. I would appreciate people appreciating that. I just really don't know where to start. If anyone ever offers me something like that, I would be pleased to do that. I would love to go through the country and talk in public. And no, I'm not scared of peaceful people from the religion of peace at all. They can go. Uh, Look at themselves. Uh, all right. Hamza Cloud said, I was just referring to people who would be ready to commit an act of violence. Please don't take that out of context. They can go look at themselves. Otherwise, everyone knows, as I always say, I have no problem with people at all. I believe that there is a reason why Muslims believe in Islam, and to be very honest, most Muslims can do nothing for the fact that they believe in Islam. It is simply because they were born into it, and I want to help them question it. Mishal El Saif said, "What do you think of Farid's poor responses to your videos?" Farid. Oh man, this guy. I actually like that guy. I actually think that he's not a terrible person. I just think that he's not necessarily the brightest bulb out there. He's not very intellectually strong. He's not very smart, not very knowledgeable on matters outside of his little Islamic indoctrination. I don't believe that he's a good thinker. I don't think that he's a good philosopher. But he also knows that. He knows that he's quite poor, and that that he's just that he has issues. And he made some refutations of my videos, supposedly. I kind of wanted to go through them. The thing that I saw is that many of them just consist of insulting me personally on so many levels. And when someone thinks that they have to insult me while refuting my arguments, then I just think, come on, man, why do you think you have to resort to that? Now, that just shows that there is something wrong with your arguments. So that's kind of where I stopped watching what he did. But what he basically did was also just nitpicking. He takes a video that I made, which is 10 minutes, and then he takes the specific parts out of the video that he has a problem with, or where he thinks this is factually wrong, and then he points it out, and then titles this debunked, while not debunking the actual message of the video at all. For example, about Islamic slavery, or Islamic wife beating, or sex slavery, or all these other issues. He agrees actually with Islam's position that I point out in the video, but he nitpicks the video. So he basically says, "Oh, here this is wrong, and here he's lying, and here he's whatever." That's not how refutation works. And that's why I said to him, "Hey, if you ever want to have a debate with me, I would have a debate with you. I would love to have a debate with you in public about where you exactly think I'm wrong about Islam." And I don't know. I'm waiting for people to respond to me in actual topical debates. Okay, that's what I think about Farid. Otherwise, Farid blocked me because he was annoyed by seeing me pop up everywhere on Twitter, which I find very sad, because I have an emotional attachment to people who criticize me. Hans made a super chat and said, "In Islam, Qibla changed from Jerusalem circa 622, when no mosque was built at that time. How could early mosques point there?" Because it is very cloudy, the actual history of when mosques changed from Jerusalem to Mecca, and when it was actually adopted in practice for mosques. Many mosques are also based on the foundation of the Qiblas, on how they were set in the beginning. And I would also say that there's also this thing that mosques didn't initially that they weren't initially built to point toward a specific direction as they became as they came later to be. But it is a huge topic. I believe me, I made a lot of notes watching the Petrov documentary. I just don't ever find myself willing to actually put all of that together and make a critical analysis of the whole Petra thing. But thank you, Hans. Okay. Let us see. Aditya Varma said, make a video on the Islamic Golden Age. A lot of propaganda, like 1001 inventions. I will, at some point in the future, if I ever find the time, make a video or a series of videos on the Islamic Golden Age, and also on the Islamic conquest of Spain, which I think is a these two issues are things that I think critics of Islam should deal with, especially those who care about history should deal with. One is the Golden Age of Islam, and one is Andalusia, Al-Andalus, whatever, Islam's presence in Spain. Muslims often point out that in the Golden Age and in Spain, Islam was Islam was very wonderful, very peaceful, very advanced, exemplary of Islam. What I find so funny about that is that they have only these two things in history to point out how great Islam is, because the rest of Islam was just so brutally awful. But if I ever find the time to do that, I would love to do that. The Islamic Golden Age is a bunch of Islamic propaganda, a bunch of nonsense. The Islamic world was at the time indeed advanced in certain regards, but it wasn't because of Islam. It wasn't the forerunners of that were not Islamically pious people. Some of them were not even Muslims and were heretical philosophers, and were later condemned by the biggest Islamic voices. And it is also science that was adopted from other cultures. So there is a lot to argue against when you really want to talk about the Islamic Golden Age issue. Everyone, don't forget to like the live stream. If you want to help the live stream a little bit, if you use the like button, and actually statistically boosts the channel and the stream. So it actually has a great function. Many people are not aware of that. If you want to help the live stream, please use the like button before you leave, before you close the door and leave. And thank you all so much for being here. I will be here for another 5 minutes, and then I will be gone. I will always want to keep the live chats under 1 hour so they can become watchable for the average viewer. 5 more minutes, and then I will be out of here. Stefan Milevich said, how did you know how to pronounce the letter ch in his name? Well, one thing is because I'm originally Turkish, and we have the same sound in Turkish, just differently. We have the sign, the dot under the letter instead of above the letter. And another thing is that I worked a lot with people from the Balkan, with Serbian people especially, and with people in that region. And I actually visited the region quite a few times. That's why I'm kind of familiar with the language. Nice that you pointed out, though, Stefan. Thank you. All right. Don't said debate me. I'm not going to debate you because your name says don't. So funny. Ian Tony said, you are amazing. Thank you so much, Ian Tony. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Gedalia says, join this channel, get access to membership perks. Listen to Gedalia. Gedalia is always doing awesome work and helping promote the channel. Thank you so much, Gedalia. Mrs. Apostate, my dear wife, was also somewhere here earlier. If you have seen her, let her know that she's awesome too. I let her know every day. Ashutosh Singh said, what did you study in college, buddy? I initially went for linguistics long ago, but I came back for psychology and religious studies. All right. Let us see these super chats, because I don't want to leave without seeing those super chats and responding to each and every one of them. And I'm almost going to go offline. I'm almost going to end the stream, but whatever. Actually, Red Dust 86 said, considering that apostate prophet suffers from anxiety, I have major respect for him taking all the personal attacks from Muslim YouTubers. Respect. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I do suffer from anxiety. Just when you said that, I had a little anxiety kick in from above. At times it became quite hard to deal with that, actually, but I just kept going on and believing that I don't have to be anxious. Earlier, sorry for that I don't have to be anxious. So that's kind of how I dealt with anxiety. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I would love to talk about anxiety soon again. Many people asked me about that. Tip001 said, again, here in the Netherlands, the Muslim community is big on indoctrinating, like wearing hijab and so on. They are really suppressing any criticism toward Islam. What is your thought on the social pressure in Western countries? That is a whole major issue, a whole major topic that we can talk about forever. How in Western society there is this constant effort by Muslim apologists, by regular Muslims, not even Muslim apologists, by regular Muslims and by Western people who want to be extremely tolerant, to let everyone know that Islam is amazing, that there is nothing wrong with Islam, that we all just understand Muslims and Islam, and that you should try Islam and all that stuff. And I think it is just a major result of everything that happened in the last century. The last century was kind of dramatic, was very wild for the Western society, and after that, people turned more and more toward how we have to tolerate and love everyone and everything. And Western people started hating themselves and loving qualities by other cultures that they would never accept from their own side. It is a giant mess. I don't know. I haven't actually talked about this issue for quite a while. I used to talk about this a lot. Maybe I should bring that up again. But this is why it's important to do what I'm trying to do here, to enlighten the masses about Islam, about why the hijab is terrible, about the origins of the hijab, about what the hijab actually implies, about how the hijab was established by Middle Eastern people in the 7th century for the sole purpose of oppressing women, of putting women into a category. Women who wear the hijab are free women who belong to the Muslims, who belong to the Muslim men, and who cannot be approached. While women who don't wear the hijab are prostitutes and slaves who are dishonorable and who don't belong to an honorable Muslim man. You know, this is the origin of the hijab. The hijab is forced on women as a construct by men, and it is a sign of complete obedience. It is really a sign of complete misogyny, and Western people really need to understand this. If Western people understood what the hijab is really about, and it is actually so clear in the fundamental sources of Islam what it is about, then they would hate it and they would fight it, which is why we need more people to know about that. And finally, thank you so much, Tip001, for your super chat. Again, thank you. I appreciate that. And finally, again, Sai Krishna Padamata said in a super chat, did you know... oh, God. I'm dying here. Did you know anyone whose ancestors were Janissaries? I did not. I don't even know. I never actually went into if those people actually exist. If there's actually let me actually look at that right now. Janissary descendants, Kulaguli, India Muslim and Christian slave women. Huh. I don't know. I never actually looked into this topic. No, I've never personally never met or known of anyone who was a descendant of the Janissaries. It's actually a funny, interesting topic that I should look into. Not funny, interesting topic that I should look into, which is funny that it comes up because this is something I would love to learn more about. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Sai Krishna Padamata. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right. thank you everybody for being here. Thank you so much for all the participation, for the chats, for the super chats, for being here, for subscribing, for liking the super chat. And I will be here again next week, hopefully, with another episode of the Weekly Apostate. And is there anything else I want to add? By the way, for all those who are, I want to give a shout out to a different channel now, to something, for someone who does something besides criticizing Islam. Recently, a channel that I subscribe to. I rarely watch videos, and I rarely stay loyal to a specific YouTube channel and think, wow, this channel is awesome, I want to follow this channel more. But one channel that I recently came across and that I liked very much is Telltale. Telltale is a channel, I think it's called Telltale Atheist or whatever. Is a channel who is made by a former Jehovah's Witness. And I believe it's a very fantastic channel. I loved watching those videos and listening to them. I would really recommend this channel for anyone who is interested in stories about other sect movements and stories and views on critical thinking otherwise. So greetings and shout out to Telltale. I should make a shout out to a new channel every week. That would be nice. Craig Fryer made another super chat. I want to read that before I leave. I'm too late already. Made another super chat and said, "Great job. Thanks for getting the truth out in such a clear and compelling way. So many deceived that need to be liberated." Thank you so much, Craig. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for appreciating what I do. Thank you for supporting what I do. And thank you for being here. Thanks, everybody, so much. Telltale Atheist. Shout out to Telltale Atheist, all those who want to check out what I just said. Thanks, Craig. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Gedalia. Thanks to my wife. Thanks, Prophet members. And thank you to all the subscribers and everybody who is here. And I will see you again next week. Have a fantastic week, fantastic day. And finally, as always, and importantly, stay away from Islam. Thank you.